Closure of a set in a topological space. So the closure of a set. So we define closure of a set as follows. But before we define it, we have considered limit point of a set and a closed set. So from the closed set, we have this closure of a set. So we define closure of a set as follows. We say that let S be a topological space and let A be a subspace of that topological space. The closure of set A is the intersection of all the closed, this is superset. So this is not subset, superset. So it's the intersection of all the closed supersets of A. So that simply means that the closure of A is the smallest closed superset of A. So that is, if you have in a topological space and we have some supersets of A there that are closed, then the smallest of them all is called the closure of A. So the closure of A is denoted by this. And this smallest of the closed superset simply means intersection of all of them. So if we have intersection of all the sets, that simply means the smallest. If it is union, there is the largest. So that is what this thing means. So if you take example, let's take example now so that I understand what this definition means. We have the example now. Let S be this, and let this tower be a topology on S. So we want to find the closure of this set B, closure of this set AB, AC. I want to find closure of set BD. Now, how do we find it? By definition, we need to get closed superset of A. This set A. The set A we are talking about here is this. This is our A. You know, when we put bar there, it means closure. This one is representing our A. This is representing our A. Now, the first thing is that everything in this space, as we have known, inside Tor, all the sets inside Tor are open set. And by definition of closed set, we say that a set is closed if its complement is open. So in order to get our closed set, we need to find a complement of this open set. So we have the following. So these are the closed sets in our topological space X. These are the closed set. Now, by definition of closure, we say that the closure of set A is the intersection of all the closed supersets of A, or is the smallest closed superset of A. Now, we start from this one for this set B. So we need to know the superset of set B, closed superset. All these things are closed. So the closed superset are, this one is there, X, this one is there, A, B, E, and finally B, E. Closed superset, that is the set that this B, set B contains. You can see that we have set B inside here. This set here, we can see it inside there and here. So if you go by this definition, is the smallest. You see that this is the smallest. Or if you go by the main definition, is the intersection of all of them. So if you look at the intersection, we find the intersection of all this. So we can conclude that therefore the closure of B is this alone. Because when you go by the normal definition, if you find the intersection of all of them, this is all you still find. Also, you can do the same thing for AC and BD. You need to find the closed superset of AC. In fact, all these are superset. So the closed superset, the superset of AC, the one we can find AC there, is just this. Since there's nothing again, then this will be closed in it. So in that case, I can say that there that the closure of AC is equal to the X itself. So the same thing, so we can do the same thing for BD. So we are coming to that. In fact, we have definition for this. When the closure of a set is equal to the set itself, we say that this set is dense. So it's dense in X. So we are coming to that. Now let's consider this theorem. Let A be a subset of a topological space S. So we say that closure of A is the union of A and its derived set. So if you want to prove it, so the best way to prove it is to show that A union A bar, A prime, is a subset of A bar, and we also need to show that A bar is a subset of A union A prime. If you can show this simply means that A bar is equal to A union A bar. Now let's consider this first one. The question is that how can we prove this first one? And if you want to prove this first one, that is, you want to show that A prime. So this is what we want to show. So it is better for us to show that A is a subset of A bar. This one too is a subset of A bar. If you can show these two, it will be easier for us to merge these two together. If you can show these two, so in that case, this one is, if you can do this, it is easier for us. Now let's come back to this place. So the first part, for this first part, if you want to show it, we know by definition that A is a subset of A bar. This, we want to show it just like what I said there. It's a subset of A bar, but I don't need to show it because it is inside our definition. Look at the definition here. Definition says that closure of A is the smallest closed superset of A. So that is A is a superset of A. So in that case, we don't need any. By definition, this one is gone. So let me call it 1. Let me call it equation 1. So by definition, it now remains for us to show that this one is here. That's what I've written. It is left for us to show that A prime is a subset of A bar. And how do we show this thing? We only need to pick an element here. We say that let X belong to or any element you like. Let it belong to this. If you can show that it belongs to this as well, then you have proved this too. So in this case, I can say that let X belong to A bar. A prime. A prime means the derived set, that set of all limit points. So then by definition of limit point, what's the definition of limit point? We say that a point S is a limit point of A if there exists an open set G such that G minus S intersection that A will not be empty. So we see that then there exists an open set G containing X such that G minus X, if you remember, this is definition of limit point, intersection A will not be empty. So since S belongs to this, and this thing can simply be written as G intersection A is not equal to empty. So this is exact definition of closure of a point of a set. So this thing simply means S belongs to A bar. So if you have this type of relationship, it means S belongs to A bar. Now we have taken S in A prime and we show that it's in A bar too. So this will simply implies that A is a subset of A bar. So this is 2. If we find the union of both sides, so this will mean that A union A bar, union of 1 and 2, these two, this one and this one. If you find their union, it will still be this. So we have proved this. This is equation 3. So we have proved the first part. Now let us prove the second part. For the second part, A bar is a subset of, that is what we want to show for the second part. Now, this one is in two cases. The first case is, let's consider when S belongs to this. If S belongs to this, then S will belong to the union of the two. We know that this one is a subset of A. So therefore, we can say that A is a union of, we have proved it before. We know that A is a union of these two. So this one is easy for us. But case 1, let me put it case 1. Let me pick an element in this. S belong to A bar. So our case 1, let S belong to A. We have shown before that this one, A is equal to this. And if you don't know it, let me quickly bring your mind back to it. We know that this one is a subset of A. We know that this derives a subset of A. This simply means that A will be equal to A union A because it's a subset. So in that case, if you find their union, it will still be equal to A. So in that case, if you let S belong to A, this will simply mean that S will belong to A union A bar, since they are the same thing. So in that case, we have now seen that A bar is a subset of A union A. So this one is easier. Now the question is that, let's look at case 2. We need to consider that S does not belong to A. Because if S does not belong to A, it will be a problem to us. Because if S belongs to A, you can see that it's very easy to do. But if S does not belong to A, we need to show that S belongs to this one here. Because it's not necessary S belongs to both at the same time. If S belongs to this, then we have proven these two. Now let's consider the second case. These are case 2 here. Let S not belong to A. Then we now need to show that S must belong to this. Because we are dealing with two things. A union A bar. A prime. If S belong to this one, definitely S must belong to the 2. Because this one is contained in this. But if S does not belong to this, S must belong to this one, because a limit point is not necessary to be inside A. So we need to now show that if S does not belong to A, then S must belong to this. Now, we assume that S is not equal to A. Now, since S is in A bar, as we have assumed before, from this place, we have assumed that S belongs to, because our A, normally if you want to show this type of thing, you pick an element here, then the element must be inside there too. That is what we showed. Element is inside A. We now show that the element is also inside A union A bar. Now the same thing, we have also picked the element in this. We now want to show that element belongs to these two. That is what is giving us two cases. Now since this one is here, then by definition, there exists an open set G such that G intersection A is not empty. So that is by definition of closed set. Now, here we have said that S belongs to this. But remember our case 2, we are letting S not belong to A. Since S does not belong to A, this is simply means that S does not belong to G intersection, because it's an intersection. G intersection A. Definitely, and this X does not belong to A. S does not belong to this. But G intersection A is still not empty, which means G must contain another point for this thing to not be empty. G must not contain another limit point of A. Hence, we say that G contains another point of A different from S. Because normally, if G does not belong, it will be empty. Since it is not empty, so definitely G must contain another point of A different from S. So this simply implies that our S is a limit point of A. So this implies that S belongs to this one. Although if it's a limit point, it's not necessarily, we have said that it's not necessarily inside A. So definitely it must be inside this place. It's a limit point. So we have now shown that, and if it is inside there, then it will be inside A union the union. It will be inside the union. So we have now shown that S belongs to A. This is a subset of A union this. So this is 4. So from 3 and 4, we can conclude that A bar is equal to A union A prime. And that completes our proof. Another theorem, set A is closed if and only if A is this. So what we do here is, since A is closed, so definitely A prime must be a subset of that. Is A must contain all its limit points. And if this thing happens, I have explained the other time, when this thing happens, so we know that A must be equal to A union A bar. I've explained it. This is just normal set theory. If this is a subset, if this one is a subset of this, definitely A must be A union A bar. Let's count that as one. But since it's if and only if, so we keep that. Also, we have just shown that A bar is equal to A union A prime. So which is 2. Then from 1 and 2. So if you compare 1 and 2, so you have that A is equal to A bar. And that completes the proof. Another important theorem. Let S be a topological space and let A and B be any two subsets of S. Then the following is true. If A is a subset of B, then closure of A is a subset of closure of B. Now, how do we prove it? So we want to prove the first one. We start from this. Let S be a subset of this. Let S be an element of this. This implies that S belongs to this. We have just proved that A bar is this. And in the normal set theory, we know that this means S belongs to A or S belongs to A bar. Now, without stressing ourselves, we know that from this one, S belongs to A. From this place, we said A is a subset of B. So, and also, we have said before that if A is a subset of B, the derived set of A will also be the subset of the derived set of B. So that means this thing is a subset of B prime. So that is how to be done. So from this place, we can take the union of both sides, or we write it like this: S belongs to S is a subset of B, or S belongs to B. Sorry, it's an element, we use belong to, or S belongs to B prime. So if you take the union of both sides, we see that this S belongs to B union B prime, which implies that S belongs to B union B prime simply means B bar. So we have seen that if S belongs to A bar, it implies that S belongs to B bar. This simply means that A bar is a subset of B bar. And that completes the proof of the first one. For the second one, we want to show that this is this. Now, just like what we did the other time, so we first just need to show that this is a subset of this, and this one too is a subset of this. Now, we show that this one is a subset of A union B prime, A bar, and we need to show that A union B bar is a subset of A bar union B bar. That is what we want to show. Now let's take this one, we know that for any two sets at all, A must be a subset of A union B. Also, B must be a subset of A union B for any two sets at all. That is A union B. This one will be a subset of B because it's a union. This one too must be a subset. So by the first one we proved, we said there that if A is a subset of B, then A bar is a subset of B bar. So if this one is a subset of this, then A bar here, it will be a subset of this bar, and B bar will be a subset of this bar. From that place, if we find the union of both sides, A union B bar is a subset of A union B all bar. So we have proved the first one. Let's call this one equation 1. Now, for the second one, we want to show that this is this. So let's write it conversely. We show that, or we want to show that A union B is a subset of A bar union B bar. So the best way to show it is to we prove by contradiction. So we say that let X not belong to this is by contradiction. If you can show that X does not belong to this as well, then we have proven that we are proving the second part. So our aim is to show that S also not belong to this A union B bar. Now let's start by saying, since we can't pick this at once, so we start by saying let S not belong to A bar union B bar. This simply means that S does not belong to A bar, or S does not belong to B bar. So, and since this happens, there exists, let's say by definition of what? Definition of closure. There exists open sets G and H such that G intersection A is empty, and H intersection B is empty. So remember, in the definition, it is not empty. If it is talking about closure, it is not empty, but now it is empty because we have said S does not belong to. Now, if we take the intersection of both sides, we can have it like this: G intersection A intersection A intersection B will still be empty. And this thing simply means that S does not belong to A union B bar. So we have started with this and we ended with this. So it contradicts our assumption. So that simply means that A union B bar is a subset of A bar union B bar. This is equation 2. By 1 and 2, so we have shown that by 1 and 2, we have shown that A union B bar is equal to A bar union B bar. And the third one, we want to show that this is a subset of this. So that one is by this idea here. It's very easy. We start by saying we know that for any two sets, A intersection B will be a subset of A because it's an intersection. Also, A intersection B will be a subset of B. And by theorem 1, whenever this happens, will be a subset of A bar. Also, this will be a subset of B bar. If you take the intersection of both sides, A this bar will be if you take the intersection, it will be a subset of this intersection B bar, and that proves the theorem. So in our next video, we are going to consider what we call interior point, boundary point, and exterior point. They are all related. So meet me in my next video. Have a nice day.